Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb and welcome to Piano Paradox. This is the way the module looks. It looks like a blue piano keys. And I would advise you have a little bit of piano knowledge, especially how the notes work. But overall, you don't really need much to this mod because it's just going to be a lot of shifting that we're going to be doing here. So this is a boss module. I should note this down. But it is actually a fairly simple one to do, and it's not too hard to understand. And as you can see, it's only one manual pitch, so this makes it a little easy to do. Each key must be shifted along the piano to reach a goal note. In this case, that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be starting on the blue colored key. This is where we're going to start. And whatever the shift on the top here is going to be what we're going to be shifting to. And it will always be shifting to the right, by the way. I should note that down. In the first 6 stages, if such stages exist, the display will show the current stage plus how many notes right the key must be shifted, wrapping around if necessary. For this first stage, we're going to be shifting to the right 1, 2, 3 times. And keep in mind that this is going to be referring to semitones. Now, semitones are specifically going to include the flats and sharps in this case. So if we were to shift right 3 times, we would go 1 to Charlie, 2 to Charlie sharp, and then 3 over to delta. And then therefore that would be our answer for this stage, delta. Now, we're also going to note down what the shift was. So in this case, we're going to shift out, we're going to write down plus 3, or I'm going to simply write down 3, right, 3. That's what I'm simply going to do here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to continue solving modules here. But things are going to be a bit different from this point on. For each of the first 6 keys, every 6th stage after them must have their key shifted the same amount. So for the first 6 stages, you're going to get a specific value. In this case, this value on the right side here represents your shift, and the left side here represents the stage counter. Now for stage 7, the next stage, the 6th stage afterward, for stage 7, it's going to be the exact same shift that we had from stage 1 because it is 6 stages later. This is what we're going to be doing for each individual stage. So now let's continue on. We're going to get a new blue key here, and we're going to get a new shifting amount here. So we get plus 8, and I like to simplify this. This is the reason why I wrote down right 3. Because doing right 8 would take a while, but you can actually simplify this, because if we take a look here, if we were to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, what if we were to go the opposite direction? What if we were to go left 1, 2, 3, and 4? And we write that down for this stage. So left 4 will give us a 1, 2, 3, 4, another delta, actually, which is quite ironic. And that's the reason why I like to simplify this and say that this is just what's going to be happening here, just to kind of lessen the amount of count that you have to do. And obviously with the case of 6, it doesn't matter which way it is because there's 12 notes in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, as you can see. With 6, it doesn't matter which way it goes because it's always going to be the exact same result. Because if you go, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then which is Charlie, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, both of them happen to land on Charlie. So it doesn't matter which way you go for number 6, you can simply just write that down whenever you get that result. But simplifying the bigger numbers especially is going to be very important for this mod. I think it helps a lot. Obviously we can do U, but it doesn't matter. And my point exactly, for this next example is going to be plus 10. So from this blue key, we're going to go simply left twice, 1, 2. And that's going to give us alpha. Okay, now we're going to continue on. Remember, we're going to note these down, left 2 for this one, because these are going to be relevant later on. So then we have a plus 4, this is simply going to be right 4. So now, as I mentioned, they're always going to be shifting to the right, so that's why I'm having the simply the opposite direction by the difference between 12 and whatever number it was. So now we're going to shift to the right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's going to give me alpha again, okay, and next up, we have a plus 10, which is simply going to just be another left 2 as we had beforehand. And that's going to be 1, 2 over to Bravo. Okay, next up, stage 6. This is simply just a 6. Okay, cool. We don't care which direction we go. And now let's actually go in that direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be a golf. And obviously, if you couldn't tell already, when all of the other modules are solved, you're going to play all of these notes that you get in order. Now, after we solve this stage, what happens? Wait, where'd our shift go? This is where every sixth stage after them must have their key shifted in the same amount. The cycle will essentially repeat for this. So for stage 7, we're going to be using the first number, the first shift that we had here. In this case, we're going to be shifting to the right 3 in this case. And we're going to do that for each individual stage. So for number 8, we're going to be using left 4, for number 9, left 2, and so on and so forth. And then we're just going to rinse and repeat. So now we're going to be doing right 3 here, so 1, 2, 3, which is going to take us over to a foxtrot sharp here. Okay. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at 8. We're going to go left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be Charlie here. Stage 9 is going to be left 2, 1, 2 to alpha sharp. Stage 10 is going to be right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be over to golf, or no, excuse me, alpha. And then we're going to do over here to, this is going to be a left to 1, 2 to foxtrot. Then finally, we're going to be going 6 in this direction. So we're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over to golf. And then we're going to be going, we're going to be doing it again, right 3. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be a golf. No, it's going to be alpha, excuse me. And finally, for number 14, we're going to be going left 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is going to take us to alpha sharp. And now, we're going to be entering into submission phase. We're going to go back to the first stage that we had here, and now we're going to enter in all of these individual notes, and we are then going to solve them on. So delta, delta, alpha, alpha, bravo, golf, going to be right over here, foxtrot sharp, Charlie, alpha sharp, alpha, foxtrot, golf, alpha, alpha sharp. Just like that is a solved module. Now, there is one thing that I would like to point out. If you didn't hear that little clap at the end, if that wasn't familiar at all, for those of you who are familiar with the Addams Family, that is going to be what this module is very similar about. That is why it has mystery and spooky as its flavor text. And there is one other little thing I would like to note down. And I'm actually going to keep our original sequence that we had beforehand. And there's a reason why I'm going to do this. So let's load up now, instead of 14, let's load up 6 modules. Because there's a very little sneaky little thing that happens here. So let's take a look. So let's do, instead of 14, let's do 6 in this case. Because there is a little funky little thing that Quinn West decided to add into this mod, and you're going to see something that's immediately going to raise some eyebrows. So let's take a look at our first stage here, but overall, fairly simple module to do. Hopefully you guys can understand it. Okay, let's go right 5 here. So we're not, for this example here, we're not going to note down the values that we get from these stages in this case, because of the fact that there's only going to be 6 stages in this one. We got stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, entering into input. So let's go right 5 times. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, alpha sharp. It's going to be our first note that we get here. Then we're going to go right twice, 1, 2. And already one of the things that you should start to see here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you haven't seen it already, take a look at the last 6 notes and see what happens. We're going to be going left twice for this one, 1, 2. That's going to be a golf. That's going to be a plus 2. That's going to be that's going to be an alpha here. And if you guessed alpha sharp is going to be our last stage, well, let's take a look. 1, 2, 3. Alpha sharp is indeed our last stage. The way that this module works is that the last 6 stages will always be alpha sharp alpha, foxtrot golf, alpha sharp alpha. The end of the Addams Family theme. Alpha sharp alpha. The Addams Family. Ba-da-da-dum. 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 So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.